Hello students, hope you all are doing good. So in the previous section we have seen about projections and the random transform. So in today's lecture we will see about image reconstruction from projection, in that the Fourier slice theorem, reconstruction using parallel beam filtered Bragg projections, and reconstruction using fan beam filtered Bragg projections. So now the Fourier slice theorem. So here we derive a fundamental result relating the one-dimensional Fourier transform of the projection and the 2D Fourier transform of the region from which the projection was obtained. So this relationship is the basic reconstruction methods capable of dealing with the blurring problem. So one-dimensional Fourier transform of a projection with respect of sigma is here g of w theta is equal to, limit is minus theta to theta, g of sigma theta into e raised to minus j to pi omega p upon into dp. So here w is the frequency variable, and it is understood that this expression is for the given value of theta. So here the expression g omega theta here is equal to minus theta to theta we have here, and f of xy into del x cos theta plus y sin theta minus here sigma e raised to minus j 2 pi omega sigma d sigma dx dy. So by that we can get here f of xy e raised to minus j pi omega x cos theta plus y sin theta dx dy. So here the last step which is follows the this step is follows the property of the impulse mentioned earlier. So by letting u is equal to omega cos theta and v is equal to omega sin theta, which becomes g w theta is equal to f of uv is equal to u omega cos theta v sin theta. So f into w cos theta w sin theta. So this equation is known as Fourier slice theorem. So it states the Fourier transform of the projection is a slice of the 2D means two-dimensional Fourier transform of the region from which the projection was obtained. So the reason of this terminology can be explained with this figure. So as this figure shows, the one-dimensional Fourier transform of an arbitrary projection is obtained by extracting the values of f of uv along a line obtained at the same angle as the angle used in generating the projection. So in principle here we can obtain f of xy simply by obtaining the inverse Fourier transform of f of uv. So now reconstruction using the parallel beam filtered back projections. So here obtaining the back projections directly yield to unacceptably blurred result. So there is a straightforward solution of this problem based simply on the filtering the projections before computing the back projection. So here this equation is a 2D inverse Fourier transform of f of uv, which is f of xy is equal to minus theta to theta, theta to theta, minus infinite to infinite, infinite to infinite, f of uv e raised to j into 2 pi ux plus vy into du dv. So here u is equal to w cos theta, v is equal to w sin theta, and du dv is equal to wd theta. So using Fourier slice theorem we can get this equation. So now by splitting this integral into two expression, 1 for theta in the range of 0 degree to 180 degree. So now here we can get by this g of u theta plus 180 degree is equal to g of minus w theta. So we can get 0 to pi, 0 to infinite, minus infinite to infinite, wg of w theta into e raised to j 2 pi w of dw. So here this inner expression is in the term of an inverse 1D one dimensional Fourier transform with the added term of here w, which is based on the in this we recognize as a one dimensional filter function. So here mod w is a ramp filter, right? So this function is not an integrable because its amplitude extend to the plus infinite, so in both direction. So the inverse Fourier transform is undefined. So in this handled by these methods such as using so called generalized data functions. So in this the approach is to window the ramp so it will become zero outside of a defined frequency interval. So that is a window band limits the ramp filter. So here an m point discrete window function used frequency for implementation with the one dimensional FFT, which is given here. HW is equal to C plus C minus 1 cos 2 pi W upon M minus 1, where 0 is less than equal to W less than equal to M minus 1, otherwise it will 0. So here Z is equal to 0.54. This function is known as a Hamming window. And when C is equal to 0.5, it is known as a Hahn window. So the key difference between the Hamming and Hahn window is that in the latter the end points are 0. So the difference between the two generally is impossible to in image processing applications. So here in figure C is a plot of Hamming window, and figure D shows the product of this window and the band limited ramp filter here of figure A. So figure E shows the representation of the product in the spatial domain obtained as usual by computing the inverse FFT. It is evident by comparing this figure B, that is ranging was reduced in the windowed ramp. So because the width of the central lobe in this figure is slightly wider than the figure B, so here we would expect back projections based on the using Hamming window to have less ranging but be slightly more blurred. So the one dimensional Fourier transform of G of P theta, which is a single projection, it is obtained at a fixed angle theta. So equation states that the complete back projected image f of xy is obtained as here compute the one dimensional Fourier transform of each projection, multiply each Fourier transform by the filter function omega, which is explained here in the this slide, right? So multiply each Fourier transform by the filter function omega has been multiplied by a suitable window. Now third is obtain the inverse one dimensional Fourier transform of each resulting filtered transform, and the fourth one is integrate, means sum of all the one dimensional diverse transform from step number 3. So here is the example of filter break projection. Because a filter break projection is used, this image is reconstruction approach is approximately called a filtered back projection. So in this figure, figure A shows the rectangle reconstructed using a ramp filter. So the most vivid feature of this result is the absence of any visually detectable blurring. So as expected, however, ringing is present visible as faint lines, especially around the corners of the rectangle. So these lines are more visible in the zoomed section in this figure. So using Hamming window on the ramp filter helped considerably with the ringing problem. So at the expense of a slight blurring as considerably with the ringing here, which is shown in figure B and figure D. So here figure A is the evidence of this. So the phantom image does not have transitions, right? So that are the sharp and prominent as the rectangle of ringing. So even with the unwindow ramp filter, it is imperceptible in this case. So here you can see that in this figure. So using Hamming window resulted in slightly smoother image, which is in figure B. So both these results are considerable improvements over figure B, which illustrating again the significant advantage inherent in the filtered back projection approach. So the Fourier transform of the product of two frequency domain functions, which according to the convolution theorem we know to be equal to the convolution of spatial representation, which is inverse Fourier transforms of these functions. So here let S of sigma denote the inverse Fourier transform of omega, mod omega. So we will write this equation as here 0 to pi minus infinite to infinite mod omega g of omega to theta e raised to j 2 pi omega sigma dw. So here star denotes the convolution. So this line is follows from the first for the reasons explained here. So the third line follows from the actual definition of the convolution. So here these two lines of equation say the same thing. Individual back projections at an angle theta can be obtained by convolving the corresponding projection g of sigma theta and the inverse Fourier transform of the ramp filter as sigma. So as here before the complete back projected image is obtained by integrating, means summing all the individual back projected images with the expectation of a round of differences in this computation, the results of using convolution will be identical to the results using FFT. Now reconstruction using fan beam filtered back projections. So the here is a discussion about centered on parallel beams. So because of its simplicity and because of its simplicity, it is the imaging geometry used traditionally to introduce computed tomography. So here modern city systems use a fan beam geometry. So the topic of discussion here is the reminder of a city uh, topic. So here this figure shows a basic fan beam imaging geometry in which the detectors are arranged on the circularly arc and the angular increments of the source are assumed to be equal. So here P alpha beta denotes the fan beam. So where alpha is the angular position of particular detector measured with the respect to the center ray and beta is the angular displacement of the source measured with respect to the y-axis. So we also note here that the A ray here A ray is the fan beam can be represented as a line capital L of sigma theta in the normal form, which is the approach we used to represent a ray in a parallel beam imaging geometry. So this allows us to utilize a parallel beam result as the straight point to deriving the corresponding equations from the fan beam geometry. So the convolution back projection formula for parallel beam imaging geometry is given this equation without a loss of generality. Suppose that we focus at an object that are encompassed within a circular area of radius t about the origin of the plane. So then g of sigma theta is equal to 0 for mod sigma is greater than t. So we can here get this equation. So where we used the projection of 180-degree apart are mirror images of each other. So we are interested here in the integrating with respect to alpha and beta. To do this, we start by changing to polar coordinates r and here. So we here are getting r cos omega minus theta, right? So here this expression is nothing but more than a parallel beam reconstruction formula written in a polar coordinates. So this equation can be simplified further. So note that the limits of minus alpha to 2 pi minus alpha for beta span the entire range for 360 degrees. So letting P alpha beta denote a fan beam projections, it follows that P alpha beta is equal to G of sigma theta, and the equation is interpreting these observations. So the results here in the expression are f of xy is equal to 1 upon 2 0 to 2 pi minus t to minus t g sigma theta s r cos omega minus theta minus sigma t sigma d theta. So here this is the fundamental fan beam reconstruction formula based on the filtered back projection. So here we can get f of xy is equal to this equation, which is the fundamental beam reconstruction formula. So here where r here is the distance, right? So f here 1 upon 2 0 to 2 pi minus am to am p minus alpha m to alpha m alpha beta s r sin alpha dash minus alpha d cos alpha a d a alpha d beta. So here this is the here we recognize an inner integral as a convolution expression, thus showing that the image reconstruction formula here. So the reconstruction formula for parallel projection reconstruction based on the fan beam projection involves a term 1 upon r square, so which is the weighting factor inversely proportional to the distance from the source. So the computational details of implementing this equation are beyond the scope of the present discussion, because here implementing this equation directly, it is an approach used to particularly in software simulations to convert FEM beam geometry to a parallel geometry. So here we can see one figure. So this figure is a results of generating fan projection on the rectangle image with delta alpha is equal to delta beta is equal to 1 degree. Then converting each fan ray to the corresponding parallel ray and using the filtered by projection approach developed here for a parallel rays. So figure B and D shows the results of using 0.5 degree to and 0.25 degree and 0.125 degree increments. So a Hamming window was used in all cases. The result of this figure is a clear indication that 1 degree increments are too coarse, as the blurring and ranging are quite evident. The result in this figure is in the sense that it compares poorly with this figure, so which was generated using the same angle increment of 0.5 degree. This figure shows that even with angle increments of 0.25 degree, the reconstruction still is not good as a figure B. And here we have used the angle of increments in order of 0.125 degree before the two results become comparable as shown here. So here similar results were obtained with the head phantom. Expect that aliasing is much more visible than sinusoidal interface. So here figure see that even with uh, uh, delta alpha is equal to delta beta is equal to 0.25, significant distortions is still present. So here in the ellipse we can see that, so as with the rectangle using increments of 0.125 degree, it produces the result that are comparable with the back projected image of the head phantom as figure B. So this result illustrate one of the principal reasons why thousands of detectors have to be used in the FEM beam geometry of modern city system in order to reduce aliasing artifacts. Thank you.